Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to my channel. This is Walking Through History with MG Preacher. One thing you should know very quickly about me is one thing I like to do is I'm a Civil War reenactor. So, what's one thing everybody knows about the Civil War? Some of their lousy food. What food is probably the lousiest? You probably guessed it, hardtack. And anyways, I got a event coming up very soon, so let's try and make some hardtack. First, we're gonna start with 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of pastry flour. We couldn't find any pastry flour per se, so we're just using cake flour for a substitute. And you're also gonna need 1.5 cups lukewarm water. Some research that I've done says that if you're going to use salt for your hardtack, go ahead and put it in the water, which we've already gone ahead and done. So let's just go ahead and get started. What we're going to do here is we're going to add the flour, the pastry flour I should say. And we're going to take a fork here, try to stir it up. Now we are currently using all-purpose flour here, so as soon as we get this stirred up nice. Alright, so once we got this stirred up, we're going to take the water, we're going to pour it in. We're not going to pour in it all at the same time, we're just going to pour a little bit at a time. Hardtack batter, as we're going to call it now, is going to be a bit firmer than normal cake batter like we're all used to. Because if you don't know what hardtack is, think of a saltine cracker, only about 4x4, and not as tasty as a normal cracker. Other names for hardtack would be things like army biscuits, army bread, and teeth dullers, and teeth breakers. So I guess that's where it gets its name, hardtack. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up, and then we're gonna get right back to you guys. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes kneading this dough here and everything. As you can see, it's not as shiny as like normal dough would be. That's because this is very dry. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let our dough sit here, rest for about 30 minutes. In the meantime, we're also gonna go over to our oven. We're gonna preheat that at 450. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Give us just a minute. Okay. So we started preheating the oven, but one thing I did forget to mention is with hardtack, you're going to be working with steam. So it's best to put a oven-proof bowl or whatever you got on hand. So once this gets up to temp and everything, there should be plenty of heat, plenty of steam, and we'll get to cutting. We'll be getting ready to bake our hardtack. Stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back. Oven just went off. It's been about 30 minutes. Now it's time to start rolling out this hardtack. I'm going to take a little bit of flour, put a little bit more flour on here. If you've ever worked with flour, or dough, I should say, you know it gets very sticky, so it likes to stick to your hands. So, good thing to do is put a little bit of flour on your hands. Helps keep it from sticking. So, since we're working with a small piece here, or small working space, I should say, we'll do half of this at a time. Now, we're gonna take a rolling pin, and we're gonna flatten this out. We're gonna try to want to get this into the shape of a square or a rectangle. Now, whoops. It's not going to be super flat. We're going to want it to get it to about a 1/4 inch thick. Just gotta work it a little bit at a time. You shut up, I'm making a video over here, yeah? Okay, so we're back. I just got finished rolling this out in about, I guess that's about 1/4 of an inch, close enough for government work. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut 3x3 squares out of this dough. Okay, so I'm quickly running out of cooking space here. So what I'm gonna do is first, let me tell you, with these pieces of hardtack, you're gonna wanna poke holes in them. We're gonna do a 4x4 here because that helps the crackers dry out evenly throughout the entire cracker. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some cornmeal here, which was actually a period technique, and we're gonna just coat the pan here. It keeps the dough from sticking to the pan while it's baking. And I don't know why, folks, but some of my dough happens to be disappearing. Definitely can't be my camera operator. Couldn't be. So, we got that set down there. Now we're going to start placing our crackers. You'll notice I call them either crackers or biscuits sometimes. I guess these are more of crackers because British Navy had something very similar, but it was round and didn't have the holes in them. And those were, I believe, called ship biscuits. Pronounce that again? Ship biscuits. Anybody looking for a job for a camera operator? Anyways, I'm gonna get back to rolling out, cutting out this hardtack. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Eins. Oop. Eins. Zwei. Drei. Vier. Eins. Zwei. Drei. Vier. This is probably the point where you either double tap the screen to skip ahead, or we use the YouTube magic and speed up. Right about now. Okay, so we got all the holes put together. Holes put together. What? So now we're gonna take this over here to the oven. Now, remember, we've got water in here. We're cooking with steam. Steam is very, very hot. It will billow out. So we're just going to crack that open. Give that a second. And then we're gonna put our crackers in here. We're gonna have them cook for 20 minutes. Now, we'll get right back to you when we're about ready to pull that hardtack out of the oven. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. I'm not going to reach over there to turn off the timer because there's a lot of steam. So, I'm going to turn off the oven. Now, if I can remember where the mitts were. Well, couldn't find any oven mitts, so I'm just going to try to hold on for dear life with the rag. Now, again, there's going to be a lot of heat, a lot of steam coming out, So we're just gonna crack it. Gonna give it a second for any there. Now we're gonna remove the water. I'm gonna have to get a Now be careful because this is very, very hot. Now, once that's out of there, we're gonna close that back. The oven is still turned off, so we're just gonna let the crackers dry naturally and cool off. So we'll probably be back in about another 10-15 minutes maybe. So stick around. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes. We're going to pull out these Hardtack crackers. Let's see how they turned out. That actually don't look too bad.
For your first attempt.
Yeah.
Sounds like Hardtack.
Yeah, I don't think those turned out too bad. But, as you can see, they don't look all that appetizing, but they're basically your bread rations. Each soldier would probably carry about 10 to 15 of these, and they're packs with them. So let's just say hardtack and coffee, main staple foods of the Union Army. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and try one of these. Still a little warm, so we're just gonna actually just set that down in my coffee for a bit. I'm gonna let this soak for a while. But you guys, I apologize for all my stuttering and everything, but this is my first video. I hope you learned something. I hope you have fun. I'll see you guys later on down the trail as we keep walking through history. Have a good one.